Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bay Legends, where the best of the best, we interview all kinds of people musicians, doctors, anybody that has made an impact on Oakland and the Bay Area. But I have my favorite special guest, which is my mother, Juanita Escovedo. We call her Moms, and we just absolutely love her. So I thought that it would be great to get her side of the story of a musician's wife, how it is being just the whole lifestyle. So I have a list of questions that I want to ask her because I didn't want to forget anything. So here we are, but
Don't
we're in
make them
LA.
too long now. Anyway,
Are you ready for this, Mom?
sure.
Okay. She looks really pretty, by the way. We look exactly alike.
I wish.
That's my mommy. Okay. All right. So this is going to be part of your history, of course. So I want to know for other people, where were you born?
I was born in Oakland, North Oakland, and my mom and dad are from Louisiana, and they came out here with six of my brothers and sisters. And then I was born here, and then my youngest brother, Joe, was born here in Oakland.
Hmm.
Yes.
And then where, and then what were your parents' names?
My mother was Marie, and my dad was Nicholas Alphonse Gardier.
Your mom was Marie. Is that how you got your middle name? When you
Yes,
meet
Juanita Marie
Gardier.
Gardier Escovedo.
Hmm.
Yes,
And then where do you fall in the number of how many children? Like
I'm
four,
the
five?
sixth child.
You're the
No,
sixth.
no, no, I'm the seventh. And then my brother Joe is the eighth. There's eight children in 10 years. So I have five brothers and two sisters.
Mm. Do you, would you say you're
No,
I know you probably would say that, but who do you feel that you were closest to out of your brothers and sisters?
um,
Because I know you had a great relationship with all of them.
yes. And we never thought of who's our favorite and who we like the best. And all back then, um, I don't know if they do it now, but I guess probably my youngest brother, who we call Cuckoo Baby. His name is Joseph, Joe Gardier. But I guess I was closest to him because my other brothers and sisters were older, and
Mm.
he's right underneath me.
Who did you get in trouble with the most?
With my brothers and sisters,
Yeah,
I never got in trouble.
you are such a lie.
I didn't get in trouble.
Moms, you always got in trouble. You did a whole bunch of rebellious things.
No, I didn't. Maybe after, no, not even after. No, no, I was a good child. But my one of my sisters, I remember saying that I was a pill, that I was really spoiled in the family as a child, and I don't remember that. I thought I was really good.
I mean, but you being spoiled, but probably all your brothers and sisters were spoiled. I mean, it's because that you shared love, the same love with your parents, right? I would
Hmm.
think.
Yes,
Yeah. And then so you were pretty much close to all of them.
yes. Even though we were kind of far apart in age, though uh, my oldest brothers and sisters were a lot older, so I didn't hang with them. But there was not really any hanging. There was not that much to do except play ball outside or across the street. We had a junior high
Mm-hmm.
across the street. So we played ball there and everything. And then on the other side of the street was a YMCA. So we played a lot of basketball there, and we played a lot of kickball. We played a lot of games outdoors and at the schools. Now all the schools are closed. You can't,
Yeah.
you know,
Were
so
you athletic because you had
absolutely.
Did you beat all the boys
In running, yeah,
in running?
yeah,
Were
yeah, we
you
had
were you
track.
just really fast?
I guess I was if I beat them. Yeah, they had track, and they didn't have track for girls.
They didn't?
No, so I ran with the boys, and so
That's pretty good.
yeah.
Name all of your siblings.
My oldest is Nick, and then my brother Floyd, and then my sister Evella, and then my brother Curtis, and then my sister Sylvia, then my brother Harold, then me, and my baby brother Joe.
Mm, yeah. And then because I know that, I mean, we all know as a family of, you know, that one of your brothers, something happened to them. So tell us that story of how that happened.
Well, that was my second brother Floyd. Um, he was married and had some children, his children, and they didn't have very much money and stuff. So he finally got enough money to get a car. So he bought a brand new car, and he was working at the time at the Prime Smoke Meat in West Oakland. And so he bought an automobile, and I think he had it maybe a couple of weeks, and he took it to a place where you cash your checks.
Yeah.
And he went in to cash his check, and when he came out, some guys had his trunk open and trying to get in the car. So he tried to fight them and couldn't. It was three boys. So he couldn't handle them and stuff. So he started to run, and they shot him,
Mm.
and so he passed away. I think he was maybe in his 30s or 40s. Yeah.
And how old were you when that happened?
Um, Gee, I must have been really young. I don't remember if he was in his 30s. I was probably in maybe in my teens or early 20s,
Mm.
middle 20s. Yeah.
Do you remember going to the funeral at all, or it was just they didn't let you go to that?
No, I don't think we went to funerals, and that's, I'm skipping way ahead, but that's why I never had you guys, our children, Pops and I's, you guys to go to funerals because we never kind of went. And it's, just to keep from having more pain to see someone pass away and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's been so many years. I don't remember being at the funeral.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. What did your um what did your parents do for a living? Your dad and your mom.
My mother was a housewife for us children, and my dad was a construction worker. And he left New Orleans to come to the Bay Area, and he bought a house here before my mother came to the Bay Area with six of the children. Um, and he reconstructed a house that was already built. He kind of
Mm.
redid it and made it enough room for all of us to be there. So that's what he's always done, was construction worker.
Mm.
Yeah. And then my mom worked a little bit at a candy factory, I think, because my grandmother lived with us and they had to have more income. So I think she worked for a little while, not long.
Mm.
But yeah, it was a very happy and safe place to be,
Mm.
is at home with my mom and dad, my brothers and sisters. There was no violence. I never felt that there was any threat of my mom and dad separating or getting divorced or
Mm.
any. Never saw any fighting, yelling. Not any time at all during my time living there. Which I left when I was 19 to marry Pops. But
Wow. 19.
yeah,
That's so
19.
young. I
Yeah,
mean, now that you think about, growing up and having, I mean, you're barely even knowing yourself at that point.
yeah. But that's what you did back then. I guess not everybody did, but you only left the house to get married. You never left the house to get an apartment or
Mm.
a condo or live with someone, ooh, that's a no-no. But I mean, who had money back then? The Pops and I barely had, we don't even know how we rented a
Survived.
house. Yeah, survived because the apartment that we got was really nice. It was maybe about 4 miles from where I lived. It was the back door was in Berkeley and the front door was in Oakland. So we were right
Really?
kind of on the borderline. Yeah. And we were paying $50 a month rent. And then it went up to either 55 or 60 after about a year. And we couldn't afford it. So we had to leave. And we went to stay back with my mom and dad. And they had a little house in the back in the backyard. So Pops and I uh, went and stayed back there. But we had Sheila before we left.
Mm.
Um, so we had her, and then we had Juan
Mm.
while we were in the house in the back, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and it wasn't the cleanest place. It was it was a garage they made it into a house, but there was, a bathroom, a bedroom, a bathroom. I mean, a bathroom, a bedroom, a kitchen.
In the little garage.
Yeah, they kind of made it. Yeah, so I mean, we stayed there for a while, at least probably a year, because Pops wasn't working.
Mm.
He worked a little bit at the California Hotel in San Pablo in Oakland,
Mm-hmm.
and he worked on Sunday afternoons at the California Hotel with Carlos Federico, and
Wow.
he was making probably $25, and that didn't go too far, so we had to stay there with my mom.
What could you buy for $25 back then?
Food.
I mean, you couldn't.
Oh,
You could probably get, of course, way more back then. Like you could probably get milk and cereal and
yeah.
you know.
Well, my mom, she would cook and she'd have us
Mm.
come upstairs in the house and we would eat up there. But it was just at the time, like I said, it was just Sheila. And then Juan was a baby. He was born back there. So, whatever we kind of ate, we went in the house, my mother's house, to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we stayed back there at least a year, maybe a little more,
Mm.
because we had nowhere to go and we had no money. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know how we even got married because we didn't. My mom and dad paid for the wedding, and my
That's what I was gonna ask you too, because I know Potts didn't have anything, so
no,
it was so his parents didn't contribute then, right? It was just, oh, it's the
no,
it's the parents of the bride
correct,
at that point that they paid for everything.
yes.
Wow.
So my mother bought my dress, and the lady across the street from us was a seamstress, so she made my dress, and I looked in the bridal book and looked in there and saw all the dress, and she told me to pick out the one I wanted. So there was three dresses that I liked. So I picked the top from one, the bottom from another one, and the hat something else, and she put it together and made it. And it was $150, and that was a
was
lot.
yeah, well, especially if Pops is making only $25 one day of the week, for that 150 is
No,
a
no,
lot.
no. My mother bought the dress.
Oh, your mother. Yeah.
Yeah, this is before we got married. So she paid for the dress, my dress. My mom and dad did, yeah.
Mm.
And that dress was worn three other different times. Two of my sister-in-laws and a friend used that dress to get married.
And Pops told me last night that you're the only couple that is still
Still,
married
yeah,
because everybody else got a divorce.
correct.
My parents are doing
Yeah,
very
yes.
good.
And that's 63 years. 63 or
63.
64?
I think it's 63, and then it's going to be
64
64
this
in
year.
October, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Um,
And we've had four um, I was gonna say weddings, but not weddings. What do you call it?
Uh, I mean, celebrations of you guys being married,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We remarried four of the times on our 25th wedding anniversary. We went in. We had to renew our vows on our
Mm-hmm.
25th wedding anniversary. Then we did it again on our 50th, and then we did it again on our 60th.
60th.
And when we got married, so that was four times. So Pop said that that's enough.
No, no more weddings for you guys.
No, no, I don't think. Well, I don't know.
But you guys, but I mean, because we can come from an entertainment family, we'll probably have a
Yeah, we
party
might
for
have
something.
another one. Yeah, yeah, we could have maybe one. Well, Pops is 85, and we're on our 60. It'll be 64. Maybe next year, 65. We'll
Oh
have
yeah,
another one.
yeah,
Renew our vows.
yeah,
Yeah, because the last two or three we had we you guys, the first ones, you guys were in our wedding.
yeah.
You, Sheila, Juan, and Peter Michael.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were in the wedding, and then I mean, renewing our vows, and then the 50th. Some of our grandchildren and you guys were still in that, and
Mm-hmm.
then the third one, the 60th. Um, our great our grandson, it was the pastor, and he did the ceremony. Peter
Good
Michael.
Lord,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
And we have 12 grandchildren, and I think it's 13 great grandchildren.
Whew. All I
Yeah.
have is my dog, and that's enough for
And
me.
that's all you need. You can barely take care of her and yourself.
I'm doing pretty good,
Yes,
Mom.
you are.
I am.
I'll give you five on that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay,
That
so
can't be question number one, and you have 4,500 questions down there.
no, it's really good. I got through like most of them.
Really?
Well, yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, now we're in 2021, and most women nowadays, or girls or teenagers, so they think of, the big wedding that they're going to have later on in life, and they think of what their man is going to look like. And so, as single teenagers, and what we got taught is, kind of like have your list of things of how you want your man to look like, and the height and the color and all of that stuff. But when you were a teenager, because I know that at that time girls were kind of, I don't want to say trained, but they were mentally, that's all that they were supposed to do, was get married and
Correct.
have children.
Correct.
So that was kind of like, what you're supposed to do. But even back then, did you, in your mind, did you have like the kind of man that you thought you wanted him to look like, or none of that?
Mm-mm.
So that wasn't even at all in your thoughts at all.
No.
So you just wanted to be married and have children because that's what you were taught, right?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. Sometimes if we have company, or even sometimes the family, they'll say, "Moms, you should," because Pops might ask me for something in the kitchen, or get him a cup of coffee, or I serve him dinner and stuff, and they go, "Moms, you should have Pops to serve you sometimes," or um, you wait on him a lot and everything. And but that's what my mother did for
Mm-hmm.
my father,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you learn. What you see is what you do.
Yeah.
So my dad worked, and my mother served him when he came home from work, which was around 4:30, and by 5 o'clock, the eight of us had to be sitting around the table with my mom and dad and grandmother, and then my mother would serve all of us dinner. And my youngest brother, Cuckoo Baby, he and I, we'd always start laughing at the table. My, my dad would get so mad at us, and he never put a hand on us, but he would just look at us, and that meant go in the pantry until you be quiet. So Cook and I would go in the pantry, and we'd stay in there. We wouldn't say anything or do anything. And then he goes, "Okay, you can come back to the table." We come back, we start giggling again, go back in the pantry. But My dad was very stern, and
Mm-hmm.
everything was, there was no in between. It was black and white. You either do or you don't. And we were brought up very religious. Well, yeah, and believed in the Lord and all of us. And I'm so glad. I'm jumping gun, but I'm so glad that you and Sheila and Juan and Peter Michael are very much into the Lord and read the Bible and just pray. I'm glad that you guys pray a lot and just you guys are so good. But anyway, back to my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so my mom and dad were very stern, and we were brought up almost like a white picket fence. um, just good feelings and good people. My mom and dad were, and my brothers and sisters. So we were very loved. And I guess that's why we love other people so much and think about their lives and, how they live. Pop's life was totally opposite from mine's. He was born in Pittsburgh, California, and he came out here with his mom, who had was separated. I think when he was around 9 or something like that, and he and his brother Coke were staying with his mom, and it got so she wasn't able to take care of them. So she put them in a home, which they didn't know that they were going there. And I think he has around 4 or 5 other brothers, sisters, Pops does. So and they were all separated because the parents couldn't take care of them. So his life was totally opposite of mine.